Back out here at it again, man. Getting ready to hone this thing finally. I'm gonna just use ball hone on it. That's all it needs. Just a little old thing right there. All we're gonna do is just put a crosshatch in it, get them cylinders cleaned up a little bit, and yeah, and we'll knock cam bearings in it, and we'll get rid of the old sudsy bath there. Get that cleaned up. Whenever I hone them, all I ever use is just 30 weight motor oil. I know they got honing oil and they have different techniques with Transflood and WD-40 or whatnot, but I've always just used regular old motor oil. It's always worked. So that's what I'm gonna use. Again, it's just regular old 30 weight motor oil. Works beautiful for me. And then just old ball hone. Ball hone like that right there. Like what's on there. Dude, you can sit here all day and that thing, the cylinder, if you want to, bouncing around, you ain't gonna take the meat out with that thing. That's the reason why I like them, if I'm just sitting here doing that. Now, if you were boring it and you were trying to get a couple thousandths out of it, then obviously you want to get the big stone one. But just to get a crosshatch, get cylinders cleaned up, get yourself a good little ball hone, let her eat, man. And of course, I don't have one. I only have the stone ones. So I had to borrow that one off my buddy, because the closest one will be a week out from now. I was kind of wanting to get the short block really started. Let's get on it. All right, like I said, regular motor oil. I just take it on my hand here, and it rubs in there all over the cylinder real good. It's like the hardest part, always. So the tones, you got different sizes. Guiding this thing down in there like that. Once you get her down in there, I always do about half trigger on the drill. I don't know what RPM that is, but it seems to work. And then you just want to go up and down pretty fast. Just need to get a nice crosshatch for probably about 15 seconds. Try to pull it out while it's still spinning, so this way you don't leave drag marks in the cylinder. Just take the cleaner up here real quick with a rag. We'll see what it looks like, see if it needs to be hit again or not. When you get done, it should be dull and have nice crosshatch lines in it. Take a look in here. It's not bad at all. All right. I'm gonna bring you in a little closer. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here with this thing, with the crosshatch lines and everything else that's going on here. You need them because if you got lines up and down, oil will get in them, believe it or not. Go out of cylinders, it won't lubricate it. Rings and everything else start wearing bad. That's why you want that crosshatch. All that's doing is slowing the oil that's coming down in the cylinders. That's all it's doing. So, all right, let's bring it in here real quick. I'll take a look at it. All right, so here's what I was talking about. Hopefully the camera can pick it up somewhat. But you see how they're like a dull gray and all now too? See, this is what they did look like. Obviously, you want to wipe it out before you put it on. Here's what they'll look like after. If you see the lines, yeah, you see them lines right there? The way they're crossing and all? That's your crosshatch right there that you gotta have. So, we do all these other ones here. Like I said, this is before. You see how they're all shiny and everything else too? You don't want shiny. It's gonna have to be like a dull finish like that when you're done and have all them lines on. All right, let's do the other three. Try to get out of there where I can. Just lube her up real well. Exact same thing. Get Get that in there. Up and down pretty fast. Always about half drill speed. 15 seconds, something like that, until it cleans up. All right. See what it turned out looking like. It's gonna get nasty, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look. Let's see here. Well, turned out just like that one. It is nice. Nice. Every ring tells you different crosshatch or whatever they want to do. Whatever. So, some's 45, some might say 23, 25 degrees, whatever. But just make sure you got one in there. Because if not, it's gonna, the cylinders are actually running a little dry on you and it's gonna wear the rings out real bad, real quick. Because the oil's not gonna have anything to stick to in the cylinder, like I said earlier. And it's kind of odd thinking of that because all it's doing is splashing up and getting under the skirts. And then the rings is what wipes it back dry. And you think, ah, no way. But yeah, you gotta have oil going past the rings a little bit. You have some kind of lubrication, or if not, it's gonna be rings to straight metal. Gonna wear the rings out, it's gonna shatter, whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna knock the rest of them out real quick. Get that done. I'll clean it up some. We'll spin it over. We'll start on the cam bearings. So, I don't know if that helped anybody with honing. I mean, honing is easy. So, let me get the other ones knocked out and then we'll get on the cam bearings. Well, the honing is complete. Now it's time to wash it. The reason why is because you see how that junk gets in there? You don't want all that right there in there because I'm getting ready to do the cam bearings, which they actually don't look bad. But so I'm gonna drag this thing outside, give it a nice little soap bath real quick, get it cleaned up. I wish I had running water in here in the shop, but I don't. So I'm gonna do it with a bucket and everything else outside. All right, let's go do it. It is time to get her bath on. It's that easy soapy water. So we can get her all scrubbed up here. Then when I get this done, I'll take them blow dried with the air nozzle. So this way she'll be extra clean. Hopefully, anyway. That's the plan. Gotta get all down these cylinders too. All around that. don't get messy. All that oil picks that metal up, runs it all around in here on it. You don't want that junk in here. Good. Hose up here would help a little bit. I'd have some pressure. I didn't break pressure washer out on it then. Really get scrub on it. But I do not have any water up here yet. Someday, maybe. Maybe. Now clean it, that's something you definitely can't do too much of. That is for damn sure. So you can't go wrong with cleaning. And don't get me wrong, there's been plenty I have built out in the dirt, you know, that I literally would either just take brake clean to it, or I'd just take hose to it real quick and cleaned all, put it together. I never had no issues, didn't get bearings or anything like that, but I know how my luck goes. I figured I better start cleaning them a little bit better. You get older, you get wiser. I guess. I don't know. That's what I hear. I guess we'll see once I get even older than I already am. We're gonna need a lot of cleaning here though. Like lots of cleaning. All right, let me get this thing scrubbed up real good. And then we got on that cam bearing install. So, I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me all day. Wash the motor. Well, she's all been cleaned up. I did take and put oil on all the cylinders, just so they don't rust sitting out here where everything is at, but she is cleaned up and we are ready to do the cam bearings now. So let's jump on that. All right, so I have a cam bearing installer here that my uncle had made it, I don't know how long ago. So I borrowed it off my cousin to knock these things out. Here's the first one. Now, once you start getting in the block here, a little further, has this little slide right here. Take an extra slide it where that bearing was. Like that. Now it's a nice alignment for you. We're going to keep heading on down the line like this till we get them all out. And get that one off. There we go. ones in it aren't bad. But I'm gonna just do it because I am here freshening up and I'll get it all done. Now the back one back here, it has the plug in it. So you end up knocking the plug out the back. Make sure you keep it, unless you go put a new one in, but I'm gonna reuse one I got. There's the plug. Right there. You can reuse them, as long as you don't beat it to death. You can reuse them. Not an issue. All right. So that's the last one right there. And then once I get it out of there, I'm gonna go through, clean up each cam bore. So I can put the other ones back in. Going back in, you're gonna start here, work your way forward. Because if not, they're all different sizes. You will screw it up. Plus you can't get this rammed through there if you're not stepping them in order here. All right, now, let's get all these little bores cleaned up here. Now I've seen, read that some people, since these blocks have a groove in them, they'll like take the little hole that's in that cam bearing right there, and they'll offset it in the bore so it's not in line with the hole to go into the mains and all. To, I guess, slow the oil down or something they said, but I've never done that. I always just put them hole to hole, and that's what works for me. So I'm gonna just stick with what I know rather than trying to experiment, and the next thing I know it, each cam bearing's up in it or something. So I kind of like sticking to what I know. So that's what I'm gonna do, because I know that works, what I usually do. And about everybody that around here that I know of, they do the same thing. They just do hole to hole, like I always done. Because I've asked around about why do people do that too, and it's just, I don't know, personal preference, or maybe it's some kind of speed secret I don't know about. I don't know. But I'm gonna stick with my hole to hole plan. Okay. They seem to be scrubbed up pretty good right there. They look good anyway. All right. Let me grab these things real quick and I'll show you what I'm talking about too. All right. So, here they are. Right here, like I said, you're gonna work back to front with these. Now, it should tell me on here which way these are headed. And of course it's not, I don't see it. You don't want to take them out of the box really. When you take one out of either end, make sure you put it exactly back, because they are all different sizes. Okay, there we go. On the lid, right there. It gives you the numbers right here. So you have 1, 2, 5, and 3 and 4. So they're all different, okay. So number 5 is a CH42, which normally they put these in line. I'm gonna see here real quick because I don't know what they're doing as far as front to rear here. So let's see what the number is on this one. And it should be CH42. All right, this is CH41, which is number 1. All right, so they're starting to block off this way in this box. It looks like you're heading that way. So I'm gonna spin it around. And this one should be CH42. Yep, CH42, they have a number on them right there. I'm sure you can't see it in here, but there's a number. Then like I said, you want to take that hole right there, matched up with the main hole. Okay, all right, let me get this thing set up and ready to go and we'll get right back at it. I wonder how the back one was positioned though. Good, I knew that. Lord. so back one's in where it was. Like I said, we just followed this. It should be here, stepping its way forward in the box. Check part numbers, just make sure nobody picked them up and put them somewhere else. So that one's done. I haven't put the cap in the back of it yet because it's on the stand, can't get to it. Don't forget to put that in once you get the engine off the stand though. That would be terrible. So now, that was number 5. This is number 4 main. So, according to it, number 4 is a CH43, which should be the next one in line. And it is CH43. Like I said, your hole, you want to match it up with the hole in the main. Now on the cam brand installer tool, I put a little bit of oil on it. It's brass, so it's nice and soft, but these are, I think they're made out of Babbitt or something like this. But so this way it doesn't score them up while I'm knocking them in. So now when you're pushing this in, like I said, just try to get that hole in the bearing and the hole in the main lined up when you're going in. And then when you knock this through, you're going to look down through here. Once those holes line up, you went through far enough. That'll be good. So let's go ahead and get this started now. Give it a little tap rouge here. And you don't want your tool bouncing in and out as you hit. Make sure you keep pressure against that bearing so you don't beat it up. All right, it should be close, like with your tool, which is with the side of the main, you should be fairly close to where you want to go. So I'm going to look down at it with a light. I can see the hole. It's about halfway that way. I need to go that way, just a peach fuzz. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit more wouldn't hurt it. Yeah, that's real close. Now the hole's in there. I just want to kind of center it in the big hole, in the main. All right. So, let me get one more little tap tap. All right. So, now, if you wanted to, I mean, obviously you can see the hole, but if you really wanted to, you can always take a punch, clean up, like that, if you wanted to, and just slide it right on down, and then boom, comes through, punch comes out the other side, you know you're lined up. But, like I say, you can see light through it right now. Like you can see it plain as day. But this right here is just another way to, if that's the way you feel comfortable doing it, you can do that. All right, well, I'm gonna knock these other 3 in just like I did these 2. The back one is the hardest right there. As you can tell, it's kind of where to position it because there's really no hole in the main like you have here. It has a couple holes and it has a groove around like the rest. But I still put the hole to the cam bearing up like all the rest of them because oil will come down behind that bearing, roll around, and come through that hole onto the cam. So let me get these other 3 in and we'll see what she looks like when it's done. All right, so here's where the fun begins now, let's see if I put them in right. Boy, I hope. Get it all cleaned up here. Take some of a big bottle of lube here. Let's put a little bit on her here. It's a used cam because it came out of it. So we ain't gotta worry about breakdown, plus it's a roller anyway. You ain't really gotta worry about breakdown with rollers too much. But makes me feel better. They have a little bit more lubes on it. So all right, see how bad I screwed this up. Let's see now. We're getting there now. Through two. 3 of them. 4 of them. Probably better if I had the actual handle. Never used one though. But it looks like it'd be easier. Let's see here now. Last one here. Get my hands in there to work with me. There we go. Boom. In there. She's a little stiffish, but that stuff right here is like glue. Know that, but they're all new, so gonna be a little stiff. And I'm turned up by 2 little bolts here in the front. Beautiful. Goody goody gumball drops. They're in right. All right, so that's gonna be it for today. Got the cam bearings in, we got it honed out, we got it cleaned out. So it is ready for assembly. Next will be filing good old rings for this thing. That'll be fun. I'm gonna use the old hand cranky. I've actually never filed rings. My first time, we learned together. But doesn't seem too hard. But motor is ready for assembly finally. What else we got to do? I do need to get a rear main seal for this thing too. I didn't get that for some reason. But other than that, it's ready for assembly. I'll pick up a rear main seal today or tomorrow. And then tomorrow, next day, start putting this whole short block together. I need to clean up them pistons so you got all that carbon and junk on top of them. Get that thing assembled. Heads go out Friday. They'll probably be gone a week or 2. I don't know how long. As soon as I get them back, we can button the motor up. And I was going to send the trans out, have it freshen up, and I decided to go ahead and just learn it on my own and try it. Worst case scenario, I do it. If it doesn't work, I got to pull it back out. It's not the end of the world. But at least I can say I've at least tried it. Even if it don't work, I tried it. That's all I can say. Well, it's going to be it for today, but thanks for watching, everybody. We'll get her together. Then we'll go do some testing with it because track is about ready to open. And I decided to tear mine down at the end of winter. Should have did it at the beginning. Not real intelligent. Alrighty. Till next time.